my God. What day is it? So today, I was kind of playing with the fact that I could stream live stream. Anywho, how y'all doing? How many people we got? We got 3 people watching. Let me know. Let me know if the volume is good for you. I am a little bit flustered today. I decided to shoot in landscape. I want to see the difference right now. But how you doing? How's your evening? Oh, okay. How many? You good? Is the volume okay? What's popping? What's going on? What's happening? I'm trying to get into the whole situation with Facebook, and then after the Facebook, we must definitely wait. Which one is Facebook? It is just 1 minute post 8 p.m. East African time, so I hope y'all are doing fine. We're gonna try going to where's this thing at? I have literally not been on TikTok for a minute, so I feel like been waiting patiently. I have been waiting too. So I'm trying to set up my situationship. That's of course on TikTok and Facebook. How y'all doing? How was your week? I don't know about myself today. I'm not going to even play pretend. Please tell me if the sound is good for y'all, because I had issues last week. Y'all were complaining about the sound. Some people were complaining about the video, that it gets blurry when you are watching it much later and you're not live. So let's try to go live on TikTok right about now. See how they're doing. Let's also try to go live on Facebook right about now. Man, what's happening, people? How was your week? Mine was a little bit, one of those weeks nga tomanyi na bigenda mu maaso, just ng'oli awo zembeera zange. Oh Lord. Yes. Okay, I gotta, just a second. How am I doing this? Okay, got it. So I got up and my light was dead. So today I am trying to use the natural light in the room. As for Facebook, y'all will let me know if the sound is clear. If it ain't, I am definitely going to kill it. Watching from Somalia, big shout out to everybody who is taking out a minute to watch me from wherever you are watching from. I am totally humbled every time that happens. No, I decided I wanted to try. And get someone told me to try and shoot in landscape, so it's what I'm doing. So you let me know, do you prefer the landscape or the portrait version? I'm just trying out everything. Where am I? Big shout out to everybody on TikTok. I see y'all are there. We are back on TikTok. Everybody on Facebook, let me know how your sound situation is, because I have a feeling I may not be able to get the sound situated bulungi ku Facebook. I'm just being honest. I'm just trying to keep it 100 with you. Let nature take its course. Guy. Nature waja tekaho. Busy muwala. But other than that, tell me about your week. I realized this week I didn't even have Thank you, Trevor. Thank you. I see the commentary. It's always DJ Sound Tulikiria. Big shout out to you, Ivan Mutwe. For everyone who doesn't know who Ivan Mutwe is, if you have gone to Facebook, there is a page that goes by Tina Fear's Family. That's my close friend. And here is the page off of me. And I love it. I am always humbled by it. So shout out to you, Ivan. Shout out to Asha, who runs my TikTok. Yes, shout out to you, and the different people that come through for me all at the time. I can't mention all of you all at once, but dear, sent you. So without further ado, muli mulumbe badia banaye mukakkane sinaba nakutandika show kutandisa okunkuba nange. Sinnabana kutandika kutotoma. You're already telling me, Jamuli, bagay, kakana, mukakane. So, like I said, how was your week? Chitalo nyo. Chitalo. It depends on how you decide to see it. Someone once asked me why at times I am so heartless and I'm so cold when it comes to the face of death. Here's my situation. I lost my mom when I was pretty young. And the one thing I remember, because she died home, I was in the room, like she literally died with me right there. Best thing that could have ever happened to me because I got that closure. And I remember the first thing I told myself is that I had a version of my mom that I knew growing up. She was this bubbly, jolly, amazing person. And for me to see her bedridden for a minute, that shook me and it made me understand that I didn't want to see that version of her. I wanted, I only wanted to see her at her best. So for me, when she passed on, in a way, I was happy for her because I felt like she could finally rest. So at times, yes, death is going to come to each and every one of us. I need to clarify on that. Death is definitely going to come for each and every one of us. It is the course of life. Everything has a beginning and an end. You were born and you die. It's not that you won't die. It's just not your time, but your time will come for each one of us. But I like to sometimes I look at death in the way that I think we should learn how to celebrate it. Yep. I celebrated my mother's death. When she passed, I was happy for her because I felt like she could finally rest. But not all of you are going to understand that bit. For all of you who are on my TikTok, on my Twitter, when the announcement was made, yes, the Let Ellie Tumwine, when the announcement was made, I took to TikTok because all of you had already rushed to my DMs and you're telling me, it's happening. Which is sad, but it's also literally very laughable. I went to my TikTok and I say these words and I am honestly going to say them again. I do not think it is right for anybody to police people's emotions when it comes to how they want to react to certain news. I think it is definitely wrong for society to think that we shall only react according to what society expects us to be reacting like. I'm just being honest because we all know what happened. We all know what happened on November the 18th. We know it. Let's be honest. We know it. There are some people who are affected by the words of the Let Ellie Tumwine and they will not back down from how they feel. My problem is we're always trying to stifle our emotions as Africans towards things. We want to always act proper. Oh, we're like, echotochikola, chibinyo, manyeno Africa, tetkola wetu. You can't stifle people's emotions. That's one thing I want people to understand. I don't think it is right for us to stifle anyone's emotion. If they want to say and express how they felt about the passing of a person that they feel probably was good or bad or in between, but I'm expressing. I know it's not going to be an easy fit for the family. It is definitely not going to be an easy fit for the family. They're always going to be angry. They're always going to be like, how can you dare celebrate him like that? I saw NRM taking on to the different platforms and they're like, it is a very sad day. One of the liberators. Truth be told, we cannot take that away from him. He was a liberator in his time. They came in, they did their thing, and that was that. As a generation that probably benefited from that, because I can't say I know what would have happened if I was born in another generation and not the NRM generation. Let's be honest about it. We have to give him that. He did what he did when he had to do it. Our situation as a generation that they're saying and claiming is so insensitive and so heartless and so childish. You have to understand that after that liberation, for us, it never made sense. This generation right now. It made sense to our father's generation. The fathers before us, yes, it did. 40-something years down the road, we're the generation that is struggling for jobs. We're the generation that has been under so much oppression according to us. And this is, by the way, subjective. I think y'all need to understand. You need to understand that people are going to react however they decide to act. That's it. We will not take it away from them. They went to the bush, they liberated for that time, and in that time, that is what the country needed. Yay! You know, our fathers and our fathers before us were so happy for that. They're like, yeah, it happened. But for us, the generation that is now, who don't even understand the liberation, though we're supposed to, it's not going to go down the same way with us. It will not. It honestly will not. I feel sorry for his family because according to the family, they have lost a father, they have lost a brother, they have lost an uncle, whichever part of that he was. But for us, the generation that came, for us, the people who were seated there on that fateful day when he took to he went on media and said they have the right to shoot and kill you if you have reached a certain level of violence. And yet we all remember quite well, yeah, we hadn't yet reached that level of violence to, deserved what happened, rather. So yes, can Africa stop policing our emotions? This goes not just for Uganda. It goes for every African country. Stop policing people's emotions and how they act towards certain things, especially death. In my country, and I'm going to chogera sichirumamu, muchirabye. Muchirabye. At the end of the day, whenever we lose someone from the class of 1986, instead of us being humbled and say, oh my goodness, we lost a good one, instead of doing that, guess what's happening? We take to celebrate. Have you people asked yourself why we celebrate? Or why they celebrate? You may not be the type who is celebrating, but the ones that celebrate, have you asked yourselves, why are we sinister enough, or why are they sinister enough to come out and celebrate? Let's be honest. These things are learned. They are not just one morning we got up and we decided to be an insensitive generation. I don't think so. And you know it too. Flashback a couple of years into this whole thing, it wasn't like that. Ugandans were so sensitive towards pain, tragedy, and death. But as the years kept coming and more oppression was put upon us and more situations that required us being hurt to the bone were thrown towards us, the insensitive jumped in. I was seeing people on Facebook and Twitter going like, when did Ugandans become like this? When did Ugandans become this type, this bitter? Hey, the psychology of a human being. The psychology of a human being. We learn how all these things get to be. I see most of you coming to my comment section and you're always going to try and throw derogatory statements towards me, especially given the fact that I'm not in the country anymore. But let me tell you, I really don't care. I really do not care if you're going to be derogative. I am giving you an opinion. I am telling you where I'm coming from. Whether it rubs you right or not, I am giving you the opinion from where I'm seated. That is what I see. You get what I'm saying? So yes, those that are sad are sad. Those that are celebrating are celebrating. And every emotion is valid. We cannot stifle any emotion. And that's the very hypocritical thing for me. Like, you've been to funerals in Africa, right? It's so hypocritical. You go to a funeral in Africa and at the pulpit, everybody's saying very beautiful things. Nobody ever says anything bad about the dead, because I think it's a thing. Never say bad about the dead. But then, the conversation is always simple. They're like, he was horrible. She was bad. She was a douche. She was all these things. Why are we afraid to be honest about how people live their lives? Huh? Why? You see, how you live your life is how we are going to live. That's the legacy you leave. If you have led a life of humility, being meek, of solidarity, patriotism, and all of that, guess what? when you pass on, that legacy that you have lived through with is the same legacy we are going to honor you with. If you lived your life like a scallywag and you were horrible and you were all these bad things, that same legacy is the legacy we're going to throw your own way. So why don't you people think about this before you start to judge how people are reacting to the news of a fallen hero? Think about it. Just think about it. But guy, we should not stifle emotions because it's not helping. In Africa, it's the day, it's the thing of the day to keep stifling emotions. But what bugs me the most, regardless of what emotion you stifle, leave alone the death emotions, we stifle so much. We have toxic families we come from. We have toxic relatives. We have toxic relationships, toxic children, and toxic parents. But we will not express these things. They will keep knowing at us on the inside till they creepy crawl out and show in our character. They reflect, they become a part of us, and that's the bird version of us, but it's with us because all of us keep swallowing these emotions in other than putting it out. We have decided, let's stifle the emotion. Well, I'm asking, when you stifle these emotions, then what? Then what? Does the emotion go away when you stifle it? When you air your honest thoughts and your opinions, doesn't it help? At least it's out in the clear. I'm saying let people celebrate, let people cry, let people have emotions that they want to have without all of y'all acting so proper and saying, someone tweeted and they were like, T, you're also going to die. And I'm like, that is why I have said every emotion is valid. I do not expect anybody to come to my funeral and only say nice things. Oh God, no. Good Lord. I know my legacy that I've left behind with different entities. I know those that will celebrate. I do. I know those that will have every right to hate me. I do. But I'm not going to stifle anyone's emotions because that is the legacy that I have left behind. So can we make peace with how people decide to react? Can we be open enough to say everybody's emotion is valid and they are entitled to their reaction and their emotion or sentiment? This is the 21st century, guys. It's 2022. 2022. 2020 almost had all of us extinct. We didn't know if we would even make it to this day. There was a global pandemic. All of y'all were chickening out and scared. All of you were making different life choices. Now, all of a sudden, you want to get back on your high horses and pretend. You want to act all pretty like, we are back to being regular. Nah, keep the same energy you had in 2020. Keep it. Be honest. Be honest. And that's my biggest issue with Ugandans. We are so afraid to be honest with who we are. Terrified. We are terrified. And this goes out to those that are still living, which is me and you. The legacy you leave behind is the legacy that we will celebrate or tarnish when you're dead. So learn from the dead and try to live the right type of way. Seriously. Let's just do that. I mean, the class of 1986 is never going to do that. I don't know. Like I said, let everybody's emotion be valid. But then, more things about the late Eli Tumwine's death were talked about. And I was watching Tamale Mirundi. Yes, I do love to watch him. He's the chief violation. Your guy is violence. Love him. Love everything about Tamale Mirundi. Because 1 minute you don't know on which side he's on. At first I thought it was NRM until he said, no, I am not NRM, I am Museveni. I'm like, well, that's different. Y'all ever thought about it? That's different. Like, he literally says he is not for the party and what the party goes for, but he does love the guy who runs the party. Y'all have to understand there's levels to that shit. I mean, maybe it different, but I mean, it different. But he made some very, very, very valid points for me. He said, and this is something that I also know, in every country out there, bullying erina a military. Have you ever noticed that it is only the military that will always have the best of everything? The best hospitals, the best schools, like the military unions and units always have the best hospitals. Even in Ebulaya, the best hospitals are actually run by the military. They have everything on fleek. The military is never to be played with. But when you switch or flip the switch to Uganda, how many of our generals have died in Kenya? Huh? How many of our generals have died in Kenya? Do you know what that states? And I know we've been having this conversation a lot, like, why doesn't our government watch it as swalako? All these dignitaries, Anita Amongo, who keep flying out of the country, people who have the power to see real change and growth. I kept asking myself, when they come out to these big countries and they see systems that work, they see a citizenship that is actually happy with the systems. Not every person will be happy, but the system in place that work. Don't they want to come back home and try to get the same systems in place? No. So now this is what's bugging us. All our generals, all our big dignitaries you will never hear yafiiridde Mulago, yafiiridde Kiruddu, yafiiridde Kawempe North, yafiiridde Lachor. No! They are going to Kenya. And for some reason, still, the ruling governance has not yet sat down and said, this is a bad look for us. You see, I'm just like you. At times I want to sit down and ask myself, do they have a particular sand bucket where they just bury their heads when certain things are supposed to be thought about? They're like, no, today we are burying our heads. All our big shots, all our big dignitaries have died next door. Temulira dwaliro nalimu. Ate bote baswala fenga the citizenship tuchimanyi. We are on our own. Tulikulwa fe chocho tuchimanyi, right? Naye bo kuba bebetaga. You see, you're the common man, you know your fate was sealed. But now there is nothing as sad as growing up in a small economy. That shit is bad. Huh? That shit is bad. But we, the citizen, you know? I'm like, Gwenga citizen, or you're okay with it. Go wakiriza. What wakiriza, when your time comes, if you're lucky to get medication in Mulago, God is good. If you're not, bibawo. Hey. Na yeba no ba abali mu ntebe. Bote batuula ko kansine bagamba, but it's a bad look for us. Don't they sit back and say this reflects badly? And you see what happens is how all of them come to social media when something like this is put to table and they start to make weird, stupid comparisons, right? They will come up with some stupid examples and comparisons, but they will never admit to the fact that, you see, as a ruling government, we need things fixed. But this is a cemetery. They cannot fall sick here and get treated here. No. You're the common man, you're used to it. Where? Where? Man, at times I can't try to sit back and I'm like, I ain't doing this. I am not doing this. I've been thinking about it for the past couple of weeks and I'm like, sometimes even talking about my politics, I feel like I should just go back into lifestyle because we got so much to fix But we are in denial. We have so much as a country to fix, but we are in denial. And it's not just the government that's in denial, people. All of us. Because you see, for the government to wake up and get their heads out of these sand pits, we have to wake them up. We, the people. But you see, the people too are in great denial because they have decided. I mean, what's the point? Even if we talk, nothing will be done. If we talk, drone is tuchima. If we talk, I'm like, no. Mwe. Mwe. Because now I feel like tuli could draw. Yeah. Tuli draw. Government draw. Nafe draw. Together. My youth. This China navigambo be politics here, Uganda. It's not even politics. The governors of my country. Ooh. Uh-huh. Ha! Anyway, R.I.P. It's the least I can say because I'm African and I'm supposed to be told that. But I need for the ruling government to know that for as long as things are still the same way in our country, a country that is portrayed to have 1,001 problems, yet we all know our problems are very few. Problem is one: bad governance. I am telling you this. Our only problem is governance. Someone tweeted something that made sense to me the other day. And he said, let's admit it, that some of you would not live the comfortable lives you live if the governance and the systems in place were right. That hit. It slapped different. It made sense. It did. It made sense. Because we have become so comfortable. The percentage of people that could actually change certain things in these places, yeah, I'm saying it. The people who are in these systems, who have the mandate to actually make differences, to actually change a lot, have sat back in these same systems as crippled as they are, made peace with them because they're getting a lot out of them. They're getting all this money from it. Their kids are getting good education. They're like, why should I fix a broken system? And now remember, with those same people who could have helped but have decided not to help, there is also us, the citizen, who has lost all hope that anything will ever change. All hope. We lost it. Then it begs the question, where is our redemption going to come from? Think about it. Where is our redemption going to come from, people? If we, the citizens, are not willing to have ourselves work the governance up and tell them we need better, and if the people in government are still seated crippled and happy with what they got because they are achieving a lot more, so they're like, nah, we don't care. I, the 1%, I'm good to go. Where is our redemption going to come from? Bobby is going to fix it. Bobby cannot fix it. Voila, even if they bought us 10 Bobbies, they can't fix it. They can't, and we need to admit to it. Even if we got 10,000 Bobbies to come and sell us an ideology, he can't fix it. But then again, it goes back to what I started with. We are not honest enough. We are just not honest with ourselves as a people. That we would rather bury our heads also in the sandpit and say, Chijja kuchuka, wajja kujjayo omuntu ajja tutaasa, ajja tununula. When? Who? Mwe. My country. Kati nze ndaba birabe. Mujja kanya tuyimbira mbu ffe twadduka e Uganda, what do we have to say? Baddiya katudduke baddiya kubanga we have hit that point of realization that with this trajectory of the citizenship and the governance, nothing is going to change. But we want better because we know we deserve better. So what do? We run. We run like the wind. We run so that we can find better. Because me personally, I sat back home for a while, right? I sat down for a while when I was home. I was with the struggle. I'm like, yo, let's get it. Let's do this. Let's bring out all the dirty deeds, put it out there. Then one day the citizenship is going to wake up and say, no, enough is enough. We need better. Way. Go on. The citizenship will disappoint you. They'll be like, because the number one thing you can do to put people in line, keep a man poor, and you'll always have power against him. Just choose your normal families. Look at the poorest person in your family. Mutunulire. He might have a very sensible thing to say in a family meeting, but because he's poor, they'll tell him, asoko sirike, olia yavudde Kampala abadde ina kyatesa. Owe Kampala nga kyatesa kya butumbavu nnyo. Kya butumbavu nnyo. Naye olw'okuba alina kasente, we babalamu ki? Amagezi. Keep a man poor and you will always, I guarantee you will always have an edge on them. You will. And I feel like the NRM has deliberately kept Ugandans poor. Deliberately. We are not a broke country. No, we are not. The resources that my country has is enough to cater to us in ways that cannot even be imagined. There are so many countries around us that can be compared to us, probably with the same GDP, probably with even worse economies, and they're getting out of this idea. Faye, the citizenry of my country, we're sitting pretty. We are like, it will change. How? How? How is it going to change? I need for us to just, let's be honest with each other right now. Y'all are online right now and I know you're commenting. So hit me with a comment. How do you expect to change the situation in your country? As an individual, don't tell me as a collective. As an individual, give us a solution. Because I'm running out of ideas. To be honest, I ran out of ideas way back when. Why you want a sister to do? Anyway, I'm just saying, no one is coming to our rescue, Uganda. I need for you to understand that. No one is going to come riding on a white horse in a chariot, holding a banner to say, I am your Messiah, I am your Savior, I am here to save you, Uganda. It will not be the white man, it will not be the next door neighbors, it will not be nobody but yourselves. So whenever you sit back there and you're grumbling about the governance in your country, and you're grumbling about all the bad things happening in the country, I need for you to also understand that ain't nobody but you, each one of you, ain't nobody but each one of you who is coming to your own rescue. That's it. There's no two ways about it. Teri chedala chakola. Ndoza muchimanyi echo. Ne munayimba Bobi Wine, Bobi mujja muyimba. Mujja genda mukalulu baddemu bakabbe. Baddemu babafuge ngente. Baddemu bonoone emirimu gyammwe. Baddemu abaana bammwe babasomeseza mu masomero agatayina mutwe n'amagulu with curriculums that are never going to put them anywhere mu ending up. Ng'abaana bammwe be batwala e Dubai okukola obwobukozi nagwo omulimu si kibi. But our kids deserve better. They deserve to be in a country that they can call home, which is a home, with systems in place that can actually help them get along. So, you know the problem. Uganda's problem is one. it's bad governance. Whether you want to see it how, or our problem is simple. Bad governance. Bad governance will reflect in everything. Look at Zambia. Zenabagamba, the Zambian president, is doing too much. I even want to block him on my Twitter. I cannot see progress like that all the time. I cannot. The Zambian president is doing too much. He is being a leader to a point where questioning his Africanness. Do you know how toxic that has to be when fellow Africans sit down and they're like, but is this president African? Like, we cannot believe that somebody can come in and actually run a government the right way. But then again, I think our problem is one. You see, I was listening to a certain guy from South Africa. What's his name? I forget his name. He's a motivational speaker. And he quite made some sense. It's like, you see, the problem with Africa is that we confuse liberators for politicians. We do. Think about it. The class of 1986 were liberators. They went to the bush. They fought guerrilla warfare. Mundu kumundu, there were 27 guns. They keep putting that in our faces. These were guys who were like, we shall take the government from this rogue guy. We don't like him. He's doing wrong, right? So they went to the war and they fought and they won. But here is where the problem comes. They were people from the Bush War. That doesn't make them politicians. Seriously speaking, we confuse our liberators to be politicians, and then they believe it. So they come and try to be politicians, but they know guerrilla warfare more. They do not understand the diplomacies. They do not understand the economics of running these nations. And that's why whenever you see an African politician who came to power by the gun, there's always something off about their governance. There's always something off. Because that is not the world they were part of. It would make sense if we would have liberators and politicians. Think about it. Like, if the class of 1986, the 27 guns, took power from the bad guy, according to them, he was the bad guy, right? And then, with that, they would have got us people who can actually run the country and the systems. See, that's why we keep saying there's a disconnect between how our president sees things and how we, the populace, sees things. Because this is not his thing. Ask him about guerrilla warfare and he will lay you bare, flat. You won't know what you can't beat him in that arena. But do you know why the other things are failing? Because according to them, it's not such a big deal. Look at our budget. Our budget reflects what our rulers think. The security part of our budget is always heavily and well funded. Always. Always. When the budget is drawn like this, as soon as you go to security, you know they are funded. You know they are going to be buying new aeroplanes, new buggies, new... Banange tuline ebyokulwanisanga Uganda. I'm still asking, tulwanani? Who are we fighting with, people? Who? But anyway, then you look at the other factions in that budget. That is when now we start to saying, but you see, they gave health very little money. They gave education close to no money. Sports, no money. Oh my God, what is happening? This is little. Because they are only going to cater to the priorities of things that they understand. But then again, like I said, everybody has to each their own opinion, right? To each their own opinion. This is not a place for us to bump heads. And, I'm one of those free thinkers who believes I am entitled to give you my opinion. You're entitled to give me yours. And we can all stand in our different places and say, yours sucks, mine works, but it is just an opinion. Other than that, it's just always an opinion. Man, this life, no balance of idea. Naye ya Uganda yo balance tetugirina at all. Tetulina balance. Anyway, the class of I know they are going to hit us with a budget for the funeral. Oh, but I guess we shouldn't be surprised, right? Seriously, are we going to be shocked if they spend a truckload of money on Mr. Eli Tumwine? Of course not. Because according to them, he was a liberator. And he was among the 27 guns. And it is his ruling party that is in power. So they will go above and beyond to give him a final resting place and situation. So y'all shouldn't make noise. Sibalaba ku platform zonna nga mugamba how much money? Twawoganiriza mutebire tebamuzika. So mukakane bagenda bakuba budget kyammwe ekyokuziika mukkirize ate temunnaba kutegeereza ezeddwaliro. We went through the same thing with Olanya. Mukkirize mukakkane, right? Mukakkane. Man, it's hella crazy. It's hella crazy. But then again, like I said, I'm starting to get really irked by the political standing in my country to a point that I'm feeling like I should now just be a regular YouTuber and just talk about the things that people like to talk about. Bad relationships, good food, I love to cook, I'm just thinking like I should just move on to things that make people get more subscribers. I should do that, right? Seriously speaking. Because my people won't speak up, right? The government won't see their faults. Nobody is putting them on pressure to seek faults. The few of us who are out here and speaking word for word and trying to say, look here. I mean, Ndaba birabe. Okay. Yeah. I just. But anyway, someone made a comment. Dr. Sep, is that the guy? There's a guy commenting on I can't pronounce your name, Sugar Boo. I think he's like one of those big guys on TikTok, but right? Dr. something. His name is a CEPH or C. Big shout out to you. Thank you for watching. I'm humbled. I'm humbled when the people with the numbers always come my way and say, oh, you inspire me. I shouldn't inspire nobody. I should inspire just the honest thinking and opinionated ones. Like, you should just come out and be like, yes, I have an opinion. I want to share it. This is a sharing space. I want to believe this is us just sharing, But I thank you so much. I thank you to everybody who actually says, I'm an inspiration. I can't say I'm an inspiration. According to me, I just feel like, hey, I'm just regular. Regular girl just trying to get shit off my mind. But to get a mass up. Someone commented on Facebook, and I know it was on Twitter. Again, I told you, for all of you who want to see me like for you who want to know what I'm always doing most of the times, I'm on Twitter. That's where I'm always, easy. Itchy trigger fingers. Someone commented and said, but why is it when people join NRM or Obwongo Bubera empty? What does Museveni tell these people to make them forget? Look at it. When you see these people before they join NRM, they are normal. Banange babera basubi. Tubera tubali namwe subi. Dinje nyo. And then they join NRM and everything goes like that. We're straight. Let me tell you something. Museveni doesn't give these people money. Museveni doesn't do much. Let me tell you, the psychology of a human being. He sells an idea. Oh, an idea will move mountains. An idea will move mountains. Imagine if I sat here and I sold you an idea to make you a billionaire. And I sold it to you so well. I am literally selling you hope. That's what you don't understand. When I sell you an idea, I am selling you hope. So he sits down and he sells these people hope. Guamani, hope is the last man to die. I've always known that all my life. If you lose hope, just know death is at the door. It is knocking. Right? Hope is the last man to die. Now, when I sell you an idea, I am selling you hope. And if you have hope, that hope can move mountains. Hope to me is kind of like blind faith. It is actually blind faith. I think they're different words, but they mean the same. But because it is English, we never differentiate them. Right? Let me give you a perfect example. When Bobby Wine decided to run for Member of Parliament, at first we were like, and I am yeah. Then we started noticing, he started to sell us an idea. Before we know it, he's running for presidency. And he sold us a good idea. Before we know it, he was hope personified. When we would look at Bobby Wine, we would see hope that Museveni and his goons and his class of 1986 can be gone, and we finally have a president who is in our edge bracket, even if he wasn't going to make it, but we looked at it like that. Chitegera. He sold us an idea, an ideology that we can actually live in a country where things work, where people are normal, where there's all these different interesting systems. That's what Bobby Wine sold to us. He sold us hope. So what do you think Museveni is selling his people? Same shit. He sells them hope. When you have hope, tewali chewa kugamba. Tewali chewa kugamba. Hey, when you have hope that tomorrow you will get some money, tewali chewa kugamba. Hope is the last man to die. The last man to die. Where? So when Museveni gets these very open-minded people, I would like to say open-minded, but we all know the term is loosely used. He sells them hope. How does he sell them hope? By giving them an idea. We do not know what idea that is, but it goes along the lines of we shall be here forever. You got all this shit, government, Faba, Jirimu, look at your fellow members. They are eating, children are abroad, they are building houses. Hope. He sells them an idea which gives them hope. Why do you think Baino Buvumu to come and tell you all these things they say? Look at them on these different networks. When they come and give their... Look at Ofono Opondo and the nonsense he spews out. Look at... what's his name? What's his name? I forget his name. He recently made a stupid comment. They come on these political talk shows and yap nonsense. Openly, those are people with hope. A lot of hope. You can't tell them nothing. Yay! You can't tell them nothing. Gwe. Hope is the last man to die. So stop looking at Museveni and thinking, oh, they go in a room and they take out their brains. No. He has started and he has studied so well the psychology of a human being. Now, when you, a common man, is out here, you have no hope, and they give you a small job in one of these ministries, and they tell you, as was sent to Genda Ziba, to Jagana. Because you have hope when you walk into that government job. Your life is going to change. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how a state fails. Yeah. That's how. That's how. You may not understand it, but let me tell you, when someone sells you an ideology or an idea, He gives birth to hope. I'm confused, just like you are. It's cray-cray. We're 2 flicks away from being in Hogwarts at this point because it doesn't make sense. But anyway, thinking about the things that actually made me cringe again this week. So remember the Isimba Dam situation I talked about last week? Yay! Guess what? A report came out, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, that 2 out of 23 engineers who are responsible for building the Isimba Dam were not registered and licensed to build that dam. They have no licensing, they have no registration. Tebaba Mani. 2 out of 23 engineers. Get it together, people. Now, when I tell you this government is our only problem, you might see it how you want, but our only problem as a country is governance. 2 out of 23 engineers responsible for building a dam that is worth 560 million US dollars, not shillings. 568 million US dollars. But 2 out of 23 of those engineers are licensed. And you wonder why it collapsed. Hey! Got it. Kale Badia. Kale. Chile Uganda Badia. What? 23 of them, only 2 had licensing. Abasigadde bali kuchipota. Pereza seminti egenda no batagenda okastetuka okubawo gwe kyokubawo tugende maaso. Nobody thought about it. That everybody had to bring their licenses and show I'm a registered person. But they were paid a truckload of money and they put these people to be responsible for 560 million US dollars worth of stuff. Like I've said, Ivadia, we are 2 clicks away from going to Hogwarts because Uganda is unbelievable. Whoosh! We are living in a fantasy magical world where I think other governments and other countries first flick their ones and they're like, but what in the Hogwarts is going on here? There's no explanation. It's just magic. Ebya Uganda magic. Tuliko magic. Wow. Yeah. Woo! We don't even need deliverance. Someone is saying that we need deliverance. Jesus has nothing to do with this. Jesus, God, Mary, and Joseph are seated on high in heaven. They're like, are you sure they are one of us? Because they are special. We are a different lot. We are a special lot. I get humbled every day. God can't do nothing. Truly the magic. Truly the Hogwarts. If Harry Potter got nothing on us. Hey, Uganda and the Fantastic Beasts of 1986. Munja kutia. 2 out of 23 engineers responsible for 568 million US dollars were registered and licensed to build that dam, okay? And you're here still complaining about the First Lady not having papers enough to make her the Ministry of Education. Even the guys in charge of your infrastructure are not supposed to. You're here arguing about a whole CEO of an airline not having documents to prove she went to school. Even the guys in your infrastructure are building you shit shows. Ndabinsanyula. Oba tukowa ddi? Oba tuzuukuka ddi naffe ne twagalako ebirungi? Oba abaana baffe be banaabikola? You know, we could just be here. It is our children who are going to get up one day and they're like, enough is enough of this bullshit. We had it. Just saying. Because wow. The incompetence, and you see what bothers me? As a country, we have become so accustomed to incompetence. We are so used to negligence. We are at par with mediocrity that everything just flies by. Seriously. Mediocrity runs so comfortably in my country, and it reflects in everything because we have not set any standards. It shows in everything. It shows in the qualifications to get the people who run the country, the qualifications for the people running the biggest establishments in the country, the simple qualifications for someone getting on TV or radio or any of these things. Mediocrity. That's big. We have never sat back as Ugandans and said, we deserve better, because guess what? We do not know better. Let's just be honest. We do not know better. We are used to so much mediocrity, incompetence, negligence, a lot of hogwash. We are used to it because that's all we have been subjected to. So psychologically, I think we think that is what it's supposed to be. And maybe that is why we are where we are. But it is again the 21st century, and I would expect us to see better, to know that there is better, to experience better through all these different platforms available to us. But no, incompetence, negligence, mediocrity. That's what we got. Ooh, we love that shit too good. Where? To be honest, I look at how incompetent most people in the country, especially in the helms of power, are. And I'm humbled. I'm shook. I am flabbergasted. Yeah, we need to set our standards high. You see, all these other countries around us that are blossoming, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, I'm not so sure about Burundi, they got a situation going out there. But I think those countries realized that they deserve better. It's the 21st century and things are supposed to run a certain way. Yes, are they incompetent in some levels? Yes, every country has its own shitholes and downpouring, everything. Every country has that. Not everything goes according to plan, but there are standards. Look at the standards of just our journalists on air, national television. Look at the standards of your politicians. Let's just start with the members of parliament. Listen to them talk. Listen to their ideologies. Then look at the ministers. Listen to them talk, their ideologies. And it will make you understand why we are where we are. God damn. Sometimes I say these things and they also hit me hard. I'm like, damn. We have a lot of problems. We do. We do. Our standards, if we were in a relationship, we would be those people who don't have a standard. Like, I want a girl who is like this and talks like that and has come from, no, we would just be like, I just want a girl. That's it. That's it. If we were in a relationship and we were a man, we would not say, No, if you were a girl, you would not say, I want a man who has a car, who is educated, who comes from a good family. No, we'll just say, send me a man. That's Uganda and our standards. We have zero standards. Good Lord. It baffles, it boggles the mind. It really does. And it doesn't help much that we have a very, very failing education system with a curriculum that is not guaranteed to help the local man in any way. So even as the generations who have been coming up and getting this education, who can be in positions to change certain systems, we can't do much because we don't know much. We got bad standards. Speaking of our bad standards, or poor standards, or lack of there is any standard. Anita Mongo was in, what is it called? She was in Vatican meeting the Pope. Gave him a gift. It had a mahembegente. Had bleached itself. But even the Pope was like, young lady, which color is yours? Is it Fanta, Pepsi, or orange? But she was there. She been doing the most though. She been doing the most. Man. She was in Vatican. Ajatandika zunga naye tubawa obudde bajja zunga. Speaking of other things that because put it in governance in time, because at this point I can't change much. I know a lot happened within the week, but I'm not even going to speak on it because I'm just drained of energy. I am drained of energy, right? Well, where is Bebe Cool? Bebe aliwa? Have you people asked yourself, where is Bebe Cool? He been silent. Where are all those NRM diehards who were shoved in our faces? Bagenda wa. Kabasirika nnyo. Bali kuchi. Catherine kusasira akola ki? Bali bangi. Bali bangi. Speaking of also that, how is the industry doing musically? I saw Fit for Micah had his concert. I was, truth told, I ain't throwing shade. I am not throwing shade. But when I saw Namunji w'omuntu eyali ku B2C, ne Namunji w'omuntu eyali ewa Juliana, ne Namuntu w'omuntu eyabadde ewa Fik Fameka, I'm like, there goes our standards. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but dear, don't get me wrong. What was Fik Fameka's last hit? Not that I can't speak much on, can't speak much on his music. Fik yachikubye. When people like Fik do echivulunga abana b'essomero bali waka, just know he will feel it up. B2C Fik Fameka, you need to understand. There is no way they can hold a concert when it is not holiday time. Crystal Panda learned his lesson. Okay. No, Crystal also did it in the same time, but anyway. What was Fik's last song? Nakoma ku Bulijita. Yeah, nakoma, but yachikubye. But what is the rest of the industry doing? Mwina buyimba chobo pia. Throw them my way. They are these artists. What did they call them? I usually see them on Mbu, the gossip site. They have tried to push those Butu girls. I don't know what they sing. I just see them being naked, trying so hard to show. They are shoving them in our faces, and I'm like, Pano bayimba luyimba. Huh? Where are all the big shot artists who would be giving? What is our biggest tune? Huh? right now in Uganda? What is our biggest tune? I'd like to know. I'm just asking. I want to know because, damn, the industry been silent. Never genda kuba ebivulu. Nabalabye Shiba inayo ekivulu. Kalika namukwaya nakombo kalina ekivulu kakyayimba. Naye Uganda mwerabira nnyo. Mwakwata omubabiriro wano Mbushi had killed someone and the police was going to investigate Spicy Diana. How did that case die? They will keep killing your children. They will keep killing them. And you will never get justice. Because like I said, keep a man poor and you will run his life. Winnie Nwaji has a concert. Basajja Mivule. Thank you. Someone has reminded me. Where is Basajja Mivule? And his dogs. Yo, first of all, I still stand up for Basajja Mivule. Dogs be expensive. I did that business for quite some time. It was a Persian. Naka agenda kujja mu concert. Mugenda. Simanyi mujja genda kyekituufu. Kubanze kye nalabye ku bannayuganda. Economy nzibu naye eza night time. Weziri. Ezo zo weziri mujja genda ne wannaka. Baliwa. Bagenda wa. Man, sometimes Twitter nnyo, I keep seeing certain things on TBTs. I'm like, wow. Just wow. But anyway, I guess that's my time today. I don't even have much to talk about. All of you thought I was going to come here and celebrate Tubine's death. That was no celebration. That was just me being honest. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I would love for all of you to learn how to be honest. In your particular circumstances, honesty is not just for a particular time. No. Always be honest with yourselves in everything you do, because it gives you a certain freedom that you will never know. Most people call honest people brute and blunt. I remember when I had just started working on TV and people were like, oh my goodness, she is so brute. She is so blunt. Yogera bubi. Chikaste china mpisa ejo. But then, your problem was not me. Your problem was that you were not used to having someone be honest enough to say what they have to say. I'll always be honest enough to say what I have to say. There's a freedom in being honest. There's a freedom in being honest. And when you come out to countries like this, you appreciate it more. That someone will be honest enough to tell you, hey, bro, I don't think I like you. I think you're in my space. Move it up. That helps me, because then I know he don't like my space. I ain't finna be in his space, right? Life becomes easy. Let's try to be honest as Africans, because I think it's only us Africans who suffer from that whole, it's like an inferiority complex of some sort. Anyway, for all of y'all who have been asking about the online gigs that I talked about, I'm still going to pin the comment. I told you it's quite simple. If you want to work online, there are companies that hire globally. Very big companies, so many that I can't mention because of copyrights right here. But I do have a platform, I have a situation I'm using. So I will pin the comment on my YouTube. You can go to that pinned comment, click on it, and it will take you to a page that will ask you for your particular information. Now, here's the trick. As much as I am putting the pinned comment for everybody to view it, only the people who are actually registered as members on my YouTube can access these jobs. So what happens is when you click and you go to that page and fill it in, we're going to use your information and we shall be getting you something that is a little bit along those lines. Some of these jobs you'll earn $16 an hour, $12 an hour, $10 an hour, but hey, economy mujiraba. So for all of you who are looking for online work, if you have a laptop, and this is something I need to tell you, you need a laptop and you need a good steady internet connection to work online. but it's a possibility, and I am doing that. I've teamed up with a couple of people, and we're just sieving out these jobs. We want to see everybody grow. The easiest way to do it, check out my YouTube, become a member. Now I have membership perks for everybody. There's the one of 20K where you can do a Q&A. There's the one of getting to know me better. There are different amounts of what you want to be as a member. Now I know most of you, I have promised to come and do a membership live, but to be honest, not that I'm not taking it serious, but we have very few members, and at times I'm like, I have to cut out a full day and just do a live for them in particular. So I've decided you can, oh, as a member, you can always reach out to me. I've given you my contacts, that's 0754-298325, in case you have particular questions. It is not for getting to know me better. It is not about any of that. No, no, no. The contact I give you is for you to ask me specific questions. I will give you specific answers. It's not a get to know each other situation when I send you that line. So becoming a member has also been a trick for some of y'all, because it always asks for you to have a card. You can use a debit card, you can use a credit card, you can use so many other options, but most of you have been saying you don't have cards, and you've been asking if mobile money can be added. I don't know. YouTube is not giving us that option, and there is no way, even if you were to send me the money directly, I can't make you a member even if you sent it to me directly. So please, please, please find a way to pay for the membership on YouTube. I don't need the money specifically for me, but it goes to the YouTube channel. So find out how to do that. And of course, I'm going to be growing all of these things. For my dear members, I know right now it seems like there's not much going on. We are vetting. We're going to definitely send work towards everybody who has reached out to us. If you are, oh yeah, Nashim is saying I just paid using my mobile line in. Okay, so if you feel you can actually use a mobile money line and it works for you, go ahead. It's simple. Just become a member to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like these videos. I might not have such a huge following, but I do love my little family. We're a family of 27K, and we're growing slowly, generically, and I love that, right? So unless if you have any other questions for me, I think it's about time I bid you farewell. Good night, good afternoon for all of you who are watching from my time zone, for all of you who are watching on the US, on the Ugandan East African time zone. Good night to you. I think I'm going to say bye-bye. If you have any questions, like I have said, you can definitely hit me up on any of my platforms. That's at Tina Fierce 1 on all. Anjuko wedded the ninja. Of course she did. Wait, the psychology of these human beings. Did she have an option? Let us wait how long that will last. Let's see how that will last. For all of you who want to see, there's if you want to support the channel, of course, that's the YouTube channel. I have super chats and super stickers. You can always use those. For my Facebook loves, it's quite simple. Keep sending them stars. I love to see them stars. It's beautiful. Send me all the stars that you feel you can. I appreciate that. And for my TikTok, I don't know if I'm going to get, I don't know what happens with TikTok. I have quite a steady following on TikTok, but I don't know how that's going to work. But yeah, I love you. I love you all. I love you all from your different places that you're watching me from. The UAE, the US of A, those in China, those in Somalia, Sudan, Kenya, Tanzania. All of you, me love you long time. And we'll do this, you know? We'll do this again next week. And yeah, take your time with joining. I'm not the type of YouTuber who is going to force people to subscribe or force people to join. But for me, I look at this as a tiny family. We grow, we share ideologies. I know most people come to my inboxes and they actually, you know, tell me different stuff. And I love the ideas. I have met some quite interesting friends through these inbox chats. I definitely have, right? Yeah, Kalunji Peter is saying those who did it with mobile money, please send. You can actually just put it in the comment sections for all of you who are using different platforms on how to become a member. Yeah, you can put it in the comment section so that you can help everybody who's having a problem with it. That's for YouTube membership. Yeah, but like I was saying, I'm not the type of person who's going to force you to subscribe, to hit the like button, to be the member. I'm just going to nudge you a little bit. I love to grow on my platforms very generically, and if you have followed me over the years, I have never bought a single follower. I have never had all these trains of let's follow each other and all of that. No, I have grown my platforms quite generically. It's just from the people that want to join, and they join. It's a tiny family. We do kind of have fun up in here. So without further ado, I hope we had some good time today. I know we're supposed to talk to the boy child today about the dating situation, because I came hard at you guys last Saturday. I came hard for the girls. I will be doing that. I'll be doing that. I just need a minute to get into that. And I'm also still thinking about changing most of this content, but we'll see, right? We'll see. For now, Sidina Pigamba Bidala. Those are Kaseda. Basivule. It's been good. Keep it real. Keep it honest. Do not lie to yourself. Keep it honest. Everywhere you go. Keep it honest with your workmates. Keep it honest with yourself. Keep it honest with your children, with your parents. Be honest. How you want to be honest doesn't really matter. I'm not going to tell you how to say things, right? I'm not going to, but try to be honest. You know, actually, let me give you something. Next week, right? Next week, I want you to just take out 2 days from your week. 2 days, right? 2 days, and just be honest. When you walk into work and you feel there's a workmate, just be honest. Just be like, hey, bruv, I don't think I like that. And tell me how you feel. Maybe it won't work for you. Just try it for 2 days. And then we can get on the same chapter. I think it's something we need to learn. You live a very stress-free life. Promise. Okay. It's been my time. I'll catch you on the flip side. Big shout out to everybody watching from wherever you are. I love you a long time. Let's do this again next week. I'll see you around. I'm out. Bye.